Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn a new lesson by name The Selfish Giant by Oscar Wilde. So the author name is Oscar Wilde and the name of the lesson is The Selfish Giant. So let us know about the summary of The Selfish Giant. The giant's garden was very beautiful. Children loved to play in it. Every afternoon, as they were coming from school, they used to enter the large lovely garden with flowers and peach trees. But the giant was selfish. One day when he returned home after 7 years of stay with his friend, he saw the children playing in the garden. He shouted at them angrily and they ran away. The giant decided not to allow anybody else to play there. So he built a high boundary wall around it. He also put up a notice that outsiders entering the garden will be punished. The poor children had no other place to go. They didn't like to play on the dusty road full of stones. Then the spring came all over the country. Only in the garden of the selfish giant it was still winter. No flowers bloomed and no birds sang. The only visitors were the snow and the frost which painted all the trees silver. The north wind rolled there all day. It also asked the hailstones to come. The giant wondered why the spring passed by his garden. It was always winter there. One morning he heard some lovely music of Lineta song birds. Lineta song birds. Okay? And outside his window. Outside his window. He jumped out of bed and looked up. He saw a wonderful sight. The children had crept in through a hole in the wall. They were sitting on the branches of the trees, which gladly welcomed them with flowers. Only in one corner it was still winter. A small boy was wandering all around the tree and crying. And crying. He was too small to climb up. The giant's heart melted. He went out in the garden. The children ran away on seeing him. The garden became winter again. But when he put the small boy into the tree, it broke into flowers. The boy threw his arms around his neck and kissed him. Other children noticed the change in the giant's behavior, so they too came back. The giant knocked down the wall and started playing with them. He wanted to see the small boy whom he had put up into the tree, but he had gone away. Years went by and he grew old and weak. He realized that the children were the most beautiful flowers of all. One winter morning, he saw a tree covered with lovely white flowers and silver fruit. Under it stood the little boy. He came running close to the boy. He noticed the two nail wounds, each one of the boy's arms and on the little feet. He declared angrily that he would kill the cruel man who had injured him. At this, the child told him that those were the wounds of love. It further told that he had come to take him to his garden, which was paradise. In the afternoon, the giant was found lying dead under the tree. Dead under the tree. Then children at work. Children are made to work and earn in different way. It is written by Geeta Wolf, Anushka Ravishankar, Arijit Singh. Let's know about the summary. Children are made to work and earn in different ways. Some of them help their family to make a livelihood. Many run away from unhappy homes and they need to support themselves. They don't go to any school. Velu was an 11-year-old boy. He ran away from home. He was wandering around for hours before getting on a train to Chennai without ticket. The Kanyakumari Express pulled in at Chennai station. Velu got down and sat on a bench. He had never before seen so many people with their luggage. The noise was terrible. He was feeling tired. Miserable and hungry. In his bundle he carried a shirt, a towel and a comb. He had neither money nor ticket. He tried to sleep on the floor near the door. He heard the rough voice of a girl around his own age. The girl was carrying a big bag. She was picking up plastic cups and putting them into the sack. Her name was Jaya. She sat down next to them. She said she could find some food for him to eat. She stood up to go. Velu had nowhere else to go, so he ran after her. The two got to the road. Smoke and dust made Velu's head spin. The girl dragged him to the other side of the street. She took him onto the bridge. Velu peeped over the railing. The road under him ran to the city. Velu saw big buildings in the distance. Jaya warned him not to get caught, otherwise he would be in jail. His bare feet burned on the hot tar road as he walked. They finally stopped in front of a big building. A marriage was going to be performed inside. Behind the hall there was a garbage chute. The girls picked up a crushed banana and a vada which Velu ate unwillingly. He felt better. Then the girl went to home to drop her full bag and yet get another one. Velu also joined her. Jaya and Velu walked along the roads and came to a bridge across a dirty drain. They came to a row of huts built out of wood, the plastic and sheets. It was Jaya's village. She dumped her sack there and gave him a pair of old shoes and a sack and a stick. He wondered what work she wanted him to do. She told him that they were rag pickers. They collected things from rubbish bins, papers, plastic and glass. It was sold to Jambu, a junk dealer. Velu had no option. He decided to work as a rag picker until he found a better job. So this is all about children at work. Then we come to the next. So how the camel got his hump. Okay. By Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling. The world had just begun. The animals had started working for humans. The horse, the dog and the ox pulled loads and served man. But there was only one animal, camel, that refused to work. It lived in the desert and ate a thorny plants. When anybody spoke to him, he said, "Hum." One Monday morning, the horse came to the camel. He told to the desert animals to work like that. So did the dog and the ox, but they had no success. Then the three complained to the man against the camel. But man grew angry and asked them to work double to compensate camel's work. So the animals were not happy. They told a panchayat. The camel laughed at them and went away. So the jinn or the spirit in charge of deserts came there. He listened to their complaint and agreed with them. He decided to punish such an idle animal. He found the camel looking at his own reflection in the pool of water. But the man grew angry and asked them to work double to compensate camel's work. So the animals were not happy. They held a panchayat. The camel laughed at them and went away. Soon the jinn or the spirit in charge of deserts came there. He listened to their complaint and agreed with them. He decided to punish such an idle animal. He found the camel looking at his own reflection in the pool of water. He had made the three other animals to do extra work since Monday morning. When the jinn asked him to clarify, the camel only said hum. He showed no willingness to work. The jinn put a curse on the camel. Soon the camel's back puffed up into a big hump. It was Thursday. The camel was told to work for 3 days without eating anything because his food was stored in his hump. But the hump on his back made it difficult for him to carry the load. The jinn said that it would serve as a storehouse of food. He also said that it would disappear when the camel would learn to behave properly. The camel went away to join the tree. From that day, he saw he has been wearing a hump, but there was no escape from work. He has, however, still not learned to behave. This is all about How the Camel Got His Song by Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling. Okay. Why did the early man domesticate a few animals? Early man domesticated for different purpose. Animals for different purpose. They used them to carry heavy loads, draw carts, and close the field. Which animal, in your opinion, is man's best friend and most useful tool? The dog is man's best friend. It provides security and even draws the sledge on it. It is known for the faithfulness. The horse and the elephants have also been very friendly to man. Do you think that camel renders no service to man? No, the camel renders very valuable service to man. It renders a variety of services to him. It is the chief means of transport across the desert. It plows the fields and gives milk and meat to its master. So it is called the sheep of the desert. Thus, I think it does priceless service to mankind in the desert. Do you think hump on a camel's back has no use? The hump on a camel's back is an obstruction in riding, but it is very useful. It contains fat and food. A camel can get its food from the hump for several days. Who was Jin? How did he set the camel right? Jin was in charge of all deserts. So, the horse, ox and the dog complained to him about the camel's laziness. The Jin scolded the camel, gave a hump on its back and ordered it to serve man as did other animals. Children at work. How old was Belu when he left his home? Why did he leave his home? Belu was 11 when he ran away from home. He took the risk because he was not happy at all with his conditions at home. What problems did Belu face when he stood on Chennai platform? Belu was alone, tired and hungry. He felt miserable for 2 days. He had eaten nothing except some peanuts. He was penniless and homeless too. How did Jaya earn her livelihood? Jaya was a small girl who lived in a cottage near a dirty drain. She was a rag picker. She earned her livelihood by collecting paper, plastic, glass and even food from the dustbins and heaps of rubbish. What sort of girl was Jaya? How did she help Belu? Jaya was a poor little girl rag picker who carried a bag on her back. She collected waste material from the dustbins. Though small, she was kind-hearted. She helped Belu with food as well as a regular job as rag picker. What problems do millions of poor children face in India? What basic issue does the story discuss? This story gives us a picture of children who are bound to work to support not only themselves but also their parents. They can't go to school. They can't play like other children of their age. This story draws our attention to the evil of childhood. Then we come to the next, The Selfish Giant by Oscar Wilde. Described in brief the giant's garden. The giant's garden was very beautiful. It had a soft green grass. Here and there over the grass stood beautiful flowers like stars, and there were 12 peach trees that in the springtime look out into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl, and in autumn bore rich fruit. Where had the giant gone? What did he see when he arrived? The giant had gone to his friend, the Cornish ogre, and had stayed with him for 7 years. When he arrived, he saw the children playing in the garden. Why did he build a high wall around his garden? He didn't want children to play in his garden, therefore he built a high wall surrounding it in order to stop them from entering it. What had happened to the giant's garden when the spring came? All over the country there were little blossoms and little birds, but the giant's garden remained free of them. There was still winter there instead of spring. The birds didn't care to sing in it. As there were no children and the trees were about to blossom. What changes came to be noticed in the giant's behavior? Previously he was a selfish giant. He didn't like children and their playing in his garden. But one day he realized his fault and became affectionate towards them. He opened his garden for them and he began to play with them. This is all about the selfish giant and all about its 3 lessons. I hope you all have enjoyed this and understood about all the 3 topics. Remaining things we'll see in the next class. Till then, see you.